lavender scent and accidentally light up a customer.
Have you ever gotten into an altercation doing any kind of customer service with this? Because all I could think about as a former customer service representative was, oh, I wish somebody would.
When I was an actual bouncer with ladies' night at that place in Virginia, otherwise, no, I've never experienced this type of fortitude. I've never had to get this jiggy with it with a customer.
We had a lot of people at the Tonight Show that would always like security would hold other people back from helping me in what looked like rough situations because they knew I trained and they said, let's see what Raph does. And I go, you motherfuckers are really trying to get me fired? Like, you can't just come in and stay. Your job is security. I'm not losing my job because some guy couldn't get in to see Leno.
Well, I thought you were going to roll tape the first time, but can I get you to?
Absolutely.
Do I need to like cue it? Do I need to be like, this fight brought to you by red wine?
I'm ready to play it, but give us the context of what we're seeing here because we're going to play it multiple times.
Yeah, we're, classic Sunday at a Bath and Bodyworks in Arizona.
There's lots of screaming.
Yeah,
there's some dragging
loud.
down. Good Lord. Just as a misnomer,
World Star. Yeah.
letting someone yell "let go of her" will prompt you to probably hold on tighter to her, just from my experience.
Phone fumble. And you can starting to hear some effing kidding me. I like the loud, authoritative shouts from a man with the very tight jeans. This is the huge Bath and Bodyworks, by the way. How big is this store?
Could you imagine being on the other side, just trying to get in a little bit of stuff for your bathroom and going, oh, what's happening? I need to check out.
It's March. I was just looking for a new loofah.
So this is just a rough play of the very first go through. We obviously have comments and notes and descriptions. But Kevin, you almost broke this down into an almost professorial sort of dissertation. So I'd like you to begin as to what we need to pay attention to, sir. So where do we need to begin here?
We cover comedy and fights. That's what we do. Two things very present in this story. Comedy and what I would call fights. Normally people say there's a lot to unpack here. There's nothing to unpack in this video. Arizona white woman, check. Starts fight, check. Bath and Bodyworks, sure. This headline made perfect sense to me in every way. And first, not funny. This can be traumatic. You heard the yelling. But second, very funny. Very funny. And Rav, when I sent it to you, what was your take? Were you a little off put that I had found something first? Were you surprised that this didn't get your fight signal? Why were you not called to be there for live commentary? There's a lot of stuff that goes through your mind.
Yeah, I think the first thing that went through my head was, oh, Kevin's Karen alert that he said on Google probably went off. And, more power to you for getting it first. I do want to bring this up because I think you brought up something that from the fight footage needs to be recognized. And I say this because I am a person who is very meticulous about my fight highlights. So obviously it starts right up top with a candle or some sort of like lotion that hits the ground on the floor. So it ricocheted off of somebody to begin with. And I thought, wow, that's a good way of saying I declare war in a store like this. But the number two thing that really got to me was who initiated this? I can't really get a good scene, but instead we're right into the thick of things. But I thought at first I was like, oh, Kevin's sending me a one-on-one fight. No, this was a brawl. This was all of you and your homies coming together to essentially drag her down like you're the defense for the Patriots, trying to help and make sure that they preserve their team and their dignity, Kev. But look at her.
This is exactly what I expect. And I read the article was like, white woman stands too close to person, takes it personally. It was like, yep. Everything about that.
But
I've
look at
heard all
this.
I need to hear. All I could picture was Cody Garbrandt pacing through the aisles, being like, "Who's the worker?" And Tom Cruise pops out from besides, like, "I'll fight the woman in the white dress. I'll fight her at catch weight."
But look at this woman in the center of the frame who's now gotten to the point where she just thinks that putting a hand on it is really helping. Like, she's done enough where she goes, I'm vaguely touching you. That
I've
should be
seen
good
this
enough.
at Bible study. I was at a revival school once, and it's like, everybody put your hands in. You can tell some people were like, all the way
Now,
in.
I
I
want
don't
to
want to touch. I don't want
I want to bring up the hero of this whole
to.
thing.
This
which
woman.
this
Yeah, who
woman
loses her phone.
She loses the phone, but look at this camera person doing double duty here, not only filming on their cell phone, but then saving the cell phone of the worker who's too busy riding or dying with
Working
their
on
brother.
an arm triangle. Yeah, that was clearly the regulator. And you can hear offshoot the woman who recovers the phone's like, "I'll give it to her later." It's like, is someone regulating you here?
I know.
Was someone looking on the side like it's the James game? Like, it's time to start this up. It's time to start it up. Because I would argue the videographer shows us the most technique.
I think
You
so.
made an observation, Raph. If you want to roll tape
Yeah,
on
I do.
wardrobe choices.
Okay. Now, wait, we
Here
should
it
preface.
is.
Hold on. Let's preface this. We are not going to be people who make fun of other people's appearances. We will, however, say there are smarter choices to make if you are going to get into a brawl and people are videotaping it, because things may not be filmed in the most complimentary of angles to you. For example, walking out of the house dressed in your best crop top that you still have left over from the teen years of Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera that have been stretched a little bit. That's it's okay. It's just, this is what the internet is going to see, and this is not going to be the most flattering of angles.
Wear what you want if you're going to peacefully shop at Bath and Bodyworks. Wear whatever you want. You look great. Celebrate you. But if you're going to get into a scrap, we suggest not dressing like it's a late 90s music video, because as you can see, doesn't give you the elasticity. And this is why Reebok has shied away from this crop top behavior. They want a more form-fitting situation.
Now, I think the one thing that
Edit that out to be whatever sponsor we want. I was actually going to be like, this rash guard promotion brought to you by insert sponsor.
The thing that still kicks me off, though, about the whole thing is that she does at one point, I think it's a little more off camera, the one thing that anybody who does wear the crop top does after this, which is they have to, like, put everything back into place, which is, sorry, I wasn't expecting to get into a little bit of an altercation here. Should have worn a little bit more correct.
Been there every time I have to, like, get under a table. I'm like, ooh, things have gotten my clothes. This pandemic. Training is helpful, Raph. And I would argue you've stopped us on a great moment that would say some jujitsu training would be helpful for this community. All sides. There's obviously a lot of anger in the people dressed like Danny DeVito's Penguin but sluttier character from Batman. There's a lot of things you have to be prepared for at the local Bath and Body Works or any of the local probably good suppliers of bath stuff. I mean, if I'm just guessing in Arizona.
So here's my question to you. I'm going to play the end of it. But as it kind of trails off, what happens to these people the minute after the camera goes off? Because people don't really talk about that, Kevin. So I'd love to hear your estimation of what happens next to the people involved in this.
This is the saddest part to me. They're going to have a great day today. They're going to be talking about it. They're going to be like, let's just get Cinnabon. Who gives a shit? We're headed to the food court. But I really feel for them because overall, everyone at Bath and Body Works is going to be a victim to the sensitivity training that's going to be mandatorily assigned from corporate, because somewhere in the staff of this, not present in this video, because this seems like it was shot on a Saturday or a Sunday, is an HR representative that's like, this is my time.
Yeah.
If I just teach them how to work with militant white ladies, all will be great. And they're going to have to sit through a 6-hour video. The woman dressed like the penguin isn't. She's going to be fine.
No, no,
She's
no.
like, I
She's
got my
gonna.
Beetlejuice dress and I fucking Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm back to brunch. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any ramifications.
She's for sure gonna bounce back from this very strong. But I still feel like this is my favorite kind of still shot because he points as if she doesn't know the exit. Like, I enjoy the fact that he starts pointing to being like, you go that way. And it's like, clearly she has no intention of following any part of you get on out of here. You stop trying to pull some hair. And I guess we haven't asked this question, Kevin. Have you taken a look at the maskers versus the non-maskers in this little scenario here?
It tells a different picture. If you were shopping that day at the very large Bath and Bodyworks, I mean, it's larger than they normally are because they're normally tucked into a corner in the mall where we just forget about them and act like they somehow still make commission. But this is, you can tell it's sharp and it's angry and it's everything you want from a nice video that celebrates togetherness in America, in Arizona, with very militant white ladies. I have a question for you. One, how glad are we that this isn't how we actually lost Tiger? I was a little worried. I just, you always thought like Tiger Woods was gonna end up in a Bath and Body Works just like screaming on Valium. So it was refreshing that he wasn't present. It was something else. But could Andre Galval learn some things from the staff here in Arizona? Because it really feels like that's how you handle a white woman bully, and Gordon Ryan's nothing if not that. Spend some time in Tucson or Scottsdale, whichever town it was in wretched Arizona.
For sure. You also just need to put on that Karen haircut on Gordon and be surprised how nicely that works because it fits. I would say this, though. It is a nice metaphor to the events that have happened with us because you look at that footage and you go, they're so stupid. Oh, wait, our sport. Yeah, it just happened last week with us, right?
Yeah.
Cody
Garbrandt
broke that
just
down.
Marching around a plane, doesn't it?
I would tell you this because we haven't done a breakdown of no love, given no love to the flight industry.
Oh, that's right. You're talking about the slap video we did.
Yes.
Which, there's the Galvon tie.
That would be the Galvo tie. I would just tell people this. People who work in retail are not exactly the people you should abuse because they already take enough abuse. I'm pretty sure they had to answer 1,000 questions about lavender they didn't really give a fuck about. But for you to come up to them and have a response that, to me, the first time I saw this, all I could think of was when she threw that back, she 100% said out loud, "This doesn't smell like pumpkin spice, you bitch," and then like tossed it at her. Because that's
people are like, we shouldn't raise the minimum wage. Look at what they're dealing with on the front lines of the Bath and Body Works situation.
Every time I see it, sometimes I don't even need to see the fight. I just need to see the one solo item that hits the ground like it's a real dramatic movie that Hitchcock created.
Everyone,
like that's the Rosebud scene.
People. She just tosses. It does have a little bit of that. Yeah. It's got a little bit of the bag from American Beauty. It's got layers.
Absolutely. It's huge. And,
also,
it's changed my life now too, Kev.
Are you now pursuing what happened to that lotion that got lost? I didn't see that the 17 times I watched this video.
Just the whole time I watched it, I think I put that on loop. I almost made this a 10-minute breakdown of just that one scene. But I'm glad it happened. I'm glad you brought it to our attention. So, Kevin, if people are looking to see us more on these things, what kinds of things do you think they would like to see from us? Or would you like to pose that question to them? Like, what more would they like to see either broken down or discussed that we don't necessarily discuss on the show?
I think it starts with an apology about the Tiger Woods joke. I'm just processing it in my own time. And I think it progresses to, should we get Cody Karen Garbrandt on the next list? Because we're going to start exploring fighting in its more communal space. And as someone who really enjoys a relaxing bath and just the ability to light a candle that's scented like the bomb I just released in it. It's a bath bomb term. It's not a,
Yeah,
it's not, this is not an, you get it.
I got it.
I'm trying to explain that it's a whole thing. You can also lavender up your facial because pores and the seasons are changing. I enjoy that as a peaceful, tranquil place. And I feel like that's semi been taken from me when I'm in the walls of Arizona. And that's fair because the state of Arizona has taken a lot from us, including several hours while they counted their election ballots. Haven't forgiven them for it yet. This kind of checks every box I've seen from the state. So feeling good. Ask us to do more of this in the comments or just share it angrily and we'll know through osmosis you want us to do more.
Appreciate it. That'll do it for us. Is this a good night, good fight thing that we do now?
I don't know. I really can't get over this fight brought to you by red wine because there's just nothing better to drink at lunch if you want to also get into a pretty stiff brawl at the bath store.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.